These are instructions for how to make a photomontage group portrait for digital photography class. You'll need to have Pixlr Editor open on your browser window, and you'll need access to the shared Google folder that we've put all of our photos that you took of each other in class. In this case, I'm showing a folder that has images I downloaded from the internet, and I'm going to start by choosing the image I would like as the background. I'm going to use this photo of the little girl. So I right-click on it and select Download. I'm going to switch back to Pixlr Editor and create a new image. I'm going to create a new image that is 1,000 by 1,000, and that gives me room to add things to the top and bottom if I want later on. So I'm going to go to Layer, Open Image as Layer, and select the picture of the little girl. So I need to make sure I'm looking at my downloads, which are on the left-hand side, and I'm going to click the picture of the little girl and click Open. You'll notice she's larger than the canvas, so I need to go to Edit, Free Transform to make her smaller. Holding down the Shift key, I'm going to go from a corner so I don't distort it, and move it until it's closer to the width of my image. I can put it into position so I can see how close I'm getting. Go again from the corner, and I'd like it just a little bit smaller than the canvas that I'm working on. Once I have it where I want it, all I have to do is hit Enter or Return. Next, I need to start adding facial features. So I'm going to go to Layer, Open Image as Layer, and this time I'm going to select my desktop. To save time on the recording, I've already downloaded these images to my desktop. I'm going to select this one and click Open, and I'd like to keep one of these eyes. So I'm going to use the marquee tool, and I've got it set on the elliptical marquee, which means I can have a circle or an oval. And I'm going to start outside of the eye and draw an ellipse that's a little bit bigger than the eye. I'm leaving my feathering at 40 and leaving anti-alias clicked on. The feathering will give me a soft edge, and anti-alias will bring in pixels from the surrounding area to blend it. I could cut from this layer and paste it onto layer 1, but what I'd like to do, which I think is a little easier, is go to Edit, Invert Selection. So now you can see the dotted lines all the way around the outside. That means that everything but the eye is selected. And all I have to do is go to Edit, Cut. I could also do Control X. So what you see now is the eye with a little soft edge. I'm going to click on the Move tool, bring it down closer to where the eye goes. You'll notice more of the photograph is showing, and we'll clean that up later. Obviously, this eye is a little bit too big, so I'm going to go again to Edit, Free Transform, and I'm going to shrink it. I'm going to have to move it so that I can find a corner. You always want to work from a corner to keep things in proportion. Holding down the Shift key again, I'm going to shrink it, and then move it, and shrink it, and move it. It's going to be a little strange because I'm putting an adult eye on a child's face. Of course, these portraits are going to be a little strange anyway. So that's right about where I think it should go. I'm going to hit Enter. I guess I'll make it a little bit smaller. Shrink it a little bit. And I'm going to hit Enter. So to get rid of the rest of this, the easiest way to do it is to go to the Marquee tool, use the rectangular marquee, and then cut it. Do the same thing here. cut, and once more, Control X. There's a little bit of a ghost going on over here. So if I want to get rid of that, I can go to the eraser tool, see how big it is. It's at about 50 and it's a fuzzy edge, so I'm going to go to 70 and a hard edge and just come in here and erase that so that I don't have a haze or a leftover bits and pieces. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can see all of the pixels, and I'm going to go back up and change my eraser. It does say brush, but it basically means whatever tool you're working on. I'm going to click out here just to get that window to close, and then just do a little bit of touching in the corner here to lighten it up. I'm going to bring it back out so I can see the whole picture. And at this point, I think it would be smart to save what I've done so far. So I'm going to go to File, Save, and I need to change it to a PXD. That is a layered pixelar image. That will allow me to come back later on and work on the layers again. I'm going to say OK, and I want it saved to my desktop. And you'll see it pop up in the top right corner of the desktop. My desktop is set up so that every time I save something, it goes to the top right corner, and what I'm looking at is saved in order of it being placed there. I'm ready to select another facial feature. So each one of these is going to have its own layer. I'm going back to Layer, Open Image as Layer, and I'm going to select Angelina Jolie to use her lips. So again, I'm going to go to the elliptical marquee. I'm going to leave my feathering and anti-alias at about 40 because I think that works well. And I'm going to select the lips. It made it a little bit bigger than I wanted it to. So to get rid of my selection, I can go to Command D. I can also go to Edit, Deselect All. I'm going to make another one that's a little smaller. Sometimes this tool makes it a little bit bigger when you let go. I'm going to move it around the lips and go back to Edit, Invert Selection. I'm still set at feathering at about 40. Anti-alias is clicked off, so I can go to Control X. I'm going to free transform to make it a little bit smaller, and then move it up into place. And hit Enter when I think it looks about right. Zoom in on it. The color around the edge is a little more orange on the Angelina Jolie picture than on the baby's face. So I can go up to Adjustment and change some of that. I can go to Hue and Saturation. I'm moving the palette out of the way. And I can slide it one way or the other. It's turning the lips a little more purple, but it's making the background color match a little bit more. I can also drop down the saturation. And I think that integrates better. Whoop, wrong direction. I think I'm going to move it up a teeny bit. I'm going to pause here and we'll pick up on part 2.